100 Quotes by Albert Einstein. We can't solve problems by using the same kind of thinking we used when we created them. Anyone who has never made a mistake has never tried anything new. When the solution is simple, God is answering. Any man who can drive safely while kissing a pretty girl is simply not giving the kiss the attention it deserves. Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. If you want to live a happy life, tie it to a goal, not to people or things. You have to learn the rules of the game, and then you have to play better than anyone else. Two things are infinite, the universe and human stupidity, and I'm not sure about the universe. Learn from yesterday, live for today, hope for tomorrow. Weakness of attitude becomes weakness of character. The true sign of intelligence is not knowledge, but imagination. Great spirits have always encountered violent opposition from mediocre minds. Only a life lived for others is worth living. If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. Strive not to be a success, but rather to be of value. Women marry men hoping they will change. Men marry women hoping they will not. So each is inevitably disappointed. The ideals which have lighted my way, and time after time have given me new courage to face life cheerfully, have been kindness, beauty, and truth. Put your hand on a hot stove for a minute, and it seems like an hour. Sit with a pretty girl for an hour, and it seems like a minute. That's relativity. You can't blame gravity for falling in love. It is every man's obligation to put back into the world at least the equivalent of what he takes out of it. The world is a dangerous place, not because of the people who are evil, but because of the people who don't do anything about it. Logic will get you from A to B. Imagination will take you everywhere. Know where to find the information and how to use it. That's the secret of success. I know quite certainly that I myself have no special talent. Curiosity, obsession, and dogged endurance combined with self-criticism have brought me to my ideas. In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. There are two ways to live. You can live as if nothing is a miracle, and you can live as if everything is a miracle. I lived in solitude in the country and noticed how the monotony of a quiet life stimulates the creative mind. The intuitive mind is a sacred gift, and the rational mind is a faithful servant. We have created a society that honors the servant and has forgotten the gift. The only reason for time is so that everything doesn't happen at once. If A equals success, then the formula is A equals X plus Y and Z, with X being work, Y play, and Z keeping your mouth shut. The important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing. Anyone who doesn't take truth seriously in small matters cannot be trusted in large ones either. 3 rules of work. Out of clutter, find simplicity. From discord, find harmony. In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. Small is the number of people who see with their eyes and think with their minds. Once we accept our limits, we go beyond them. Intellectual growth should commence at birth and cease only at death. Peace cannot be kept by force. It can only be achieved by understanding. Most people say that it is the intellect which makes a great scientist. They are wrong. It is character. Only one who devotes himself to a cause with his whole strength and soul can be a true master. For this reason, mastery demands all of a person. The only thing that interferes with my learning is my education. A question that sometimes drives me hazy. Am I or the others crazy? Reality is merely an illusion, although a very persistent one. If most of us are ashamed of shabby clothes and shoddy furniture, let us be more ashamed of shabby ideas and shoddy philosophies. It would be a sad situation if the wrapper were better than the meat wrapped inside it. Intellectuals solve problems. Geniuses prevent them. Education is what remains after one has forgotten everything he learned in school. Imagination is more important than knowledge. For knowledge is limited to all we now know and understand, while imagination embraces the entire world and all there ever will be to know and understand. I don't know, I don't care, and it doesn't make a difference. True religion is real living, living with all one's soul, with all one's goodness and righteousness. A person starts to live when he can live outside himself. If I were not a physicist, I would probably be a musician. I often think in music. I live my daydreams in music. I see my life in terms of music. I get most joy in life out of music. A man should look for what is, and not for what he thinks should be. The horizon of many people is a circle with zero radius, which they call their point of view. If at first the idea is not absurd, then there is no hope for it. Unthinking respect for authority is the greatest enemy of truth. The value of a man should be seen in what he gives, and not in what he is able to receive. It is the supreme art of the teacher to awaken joy in creative expression and knowledge. I don't try to imagine a god. It suffices to stand in awe of the structure of the world, insofar as it allows our inadequate senses to appreciate it. If people are good only because they fear punishment and hope for reward, then we are a sorry lot indeed. Try not to become a man of success, but rather try to become a man of value. I never teach my pupils. I only attempt to provide the conditions in which they can learn. Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions. It has become appallingly obvious that our technology has exceeded our humanity. I am a deeply religious non-believer. This is a somewhat new kind of religion. To understand the world, one must not be worrying about oneself. It's not that I'm so smart. It's just that I stay with problems longer. Bear in mind that the wonderful things you learn in your schools are the work of many generations. All this is put in your hands as your inheritance in order that you may receive it, honor it, add to it, and one day faithfully hand it on to your children. Love to travel, but hate to arrive. Look deep into nature, and then you will understand everything better. I don't know what weapons will be used in World War III, but in World War IV, people will use sticks and stones. No, this trick won't work. How on earth are you ever going to explain in terms of chemistry and physics so important a biological phenomenon as first love? Love is a better teacher than duty. A perfection of means and confusion of aims seems to be our main problem. I am neither especially clever nor especially gifted. I am only very, very curious. Once you can accept the universe as being something expanding into an infinite nothing, which is something, wearing stripes with plaid is easy. The most important human endeavor is the striving for morality in our actions. Our inner balance and even our very existence depend on it. Only morality in our actions can give beauty and dignity to life. When I examine myself and my methods of thought, I come to the conclusion that the gift of fantasy has meant more to me than any talent for abstract, positive thinking. Solitude is painful when one is young, but delightful when one is more mature. In matters of truth and justice, there is no difference between large and small problems, for issues concerning the treatment of people are all the same. He who joyfully marches to music in rank and file has already earned my contempt. He has been given a large brain by mistake, since for him the spinal cord would surely suffice. The attempt to combine wisdom and power has only rarely been successful, and then only for a short while. I am not only a pacifist, but a militant pacifist. I am willing to fight for peace. Nothing will end war unless the people themselves refuse to go to war. Information is not knowledge. The devil has put a penalty on all things we enjoy in life. Either we suffer in health, or we suffer in soul, or we get fat. Science without religion is lame. Religion without science is blind. The important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing. One cannot help but be in awe when he contemplates the mysteries of eternity, of life, of the marvelous structure of reality. It is enough if one tries merely to comprehend a little of this mystery every day. Never lose a holy curiosity. I am enough of an artist to draw freely upon my imagination. Imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited. Imagination encircles the world. Joy in looking and comprehending is nature's most beautiful gift. If there is any religion that could respond to the needs of modern science, it would be Buddhism. The distinction between past, present, and future is only a stubbornly persistent illusion. I like to think that the moon is there even if I am not looking at it. He who can no longer pause to wonder and stand wrapped in awe is as good as dead. His eyes are closed. Everything should be made as simple as possible, but not simpler. The secret to creativity is knowing how to hide your sources. Remember your humanity and forget the rest. Teaching should be such that what is offered is perceived as a valuable gift and not as a hard duty. The wireless telegraph is not difficult to understand. The ordinary telegraph is like a very long cat. You pull the tail in New York and it meows in Los Angeles. The wireless is the same, only without the cat. True art is characterized by an irresistible urge in the creative artist. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Feeling and longing are the motive forces behind all human endeavor and human creations. I want to know how God created this world. I'm not interested in this or that phenomenon, in the spectrum of this or that element. I want to know his thoughts. The rest are details. Whoever undertakes to set himself up as a judge of truth and knowledge is shipwrecked by the laughter of the gods. Keep on sowing your seed, for you never know which will grow. Perhaps it all will. When you examine the lives of the most influential people who have ever walked among us, you discover one thread that winds through them all. They have been aligned first with their spiritual nature and only then with their physical selves. If God has created the world, his primary worry was certainly not to make its understanding easy for us. The only source of knowledge is experience. Hunger, love, pain, fear are some of those inner forces which rule the individual's instinct for self-preservation.